Hey guys, what's going on? It is Dan Lags and welcome back to a brand new video here on Dan Lags Plus. And guys, today I am going to be discussing Call of Duty World War II, the beta. Just finished up today. Today was the last day of the beta. And now it's time for me to go through my first impressions of the game, what I thought about it after playing it. So just keep in mind guys, I played a lot. I did 2 live streams during the beta, as well as I played a pretty decent amount off stream. So I got a lot of playtime in. I feel like I have a pretty solid opinion on how this game plays, how it feels, and kind of my opinions on it for myself. So we're just going to jump right into it. So here's how this is going to work, guys. I'm going to do my first impressions video for the beta, obviously right here. And then you're going to see a bunch of stream highlight stuff, gameplay specifically, over maybe the next week or two. I got a bunch of cool gameplay from my streams that I want to showcase to you guys here on the YouTube as well. So I'll be uploading that stuff as well periodically over the next week or two. So just letting you guys know about that. So let's get started with the pros and cons of this game. So we'll start off with some of the positives that I like about the game. Let's start off with just the classic feel. I was hoping that when I got on this game, it was going to take me back to what like a solid boots on the ground Call of Duty felt like, and it absolutely did that. I was really comfortable with the movement of the game. Obviously it was a little clunky at first, coming from such a smooth game like Infinite Warfare, where like the sprint out times are almost instantaneous, and there's no like shell shock from grenades and things like that, stuff that I think is a little bit more realistic, which is cool. So but the game felt good. It definitely has that classic feel, that classic World War II feel. I was a little worried about that when watching some of the gameplay, just kind of maybe offhandedly comparing it to World at War, which I felt like was the most classic World War II feel game ever. So as far as that is concerned, it felt great. I really liked it. The gun sounds and just the game sounds in general were pretty excellent. The main menu music is fantastic. I hope they keep that for the full launch. But yeah, the gun sounds are good. You get shell shock when you get hit by a grenade, so that's definitely pretty cool. I mean, it's annoying, but it definitely immerses you a little bit more, which is great. Some of the classic weapons, the PPSH is what you're seeing me use in this gameplay. The Thompson is back, the STG, the M1 Garand, and I'm hoping for many, many more in the full launch of the game. I want to see the Gewehr, the MP40, the PTRS. I want to see a bunch of different World War II weapons that didn't make it into the beta because the level cap was only at 35. So I know the MP40 is confirmed for the game. I'm hoping the PTRS is put in the game as another sniper, because that would be pretty fun. As far as other things, the kill streaks are pretty fun. UAV, obviously, that's the classic. Of course, that's back. Artillery, I really like. There's a lot of bombing kill streaks in this game, but they're all kind of different in their own way, and they're all pretty fun to use. The glide bomb is a lot of fun. I was using the artillery and the paratroopers for most of the weekend, and the paratroopers are pretty good. They're almost like the dogs or the raps of this game. The little AI bots running around killing everybody. So those guys were pretty effective. They were getting like maybe 4 or 5 kills a pop, which is, I would like them to be buffed a little bit, but it might have just been like the maps or something, or just people not going near them. I don't know. We'll see how that whole plans out to see how good they are, because when the raps were first out on Black Ops 3, they were pretty bad, but by the end of the game, they were like a god tier kill streak. So hopefully they'll just slowly start to buff the streaks and make them a little bit better, because there's nothing like great streaks in a Call of Duty. When I'm playing Call of Duty, I want the streaks to be absolutely OP and just murder everybody in the match. My favorite Call of Duties of all time, they all have great streaks. Black Ops 3, great streaks. Black Ops 1, great streaks. MW2, great streaks. I can go on. And the bad CODs don't have great streaks. So that's very important, and I think the streaks in this game are solid. As far as the creative class is concerned, it's like totally different with the divisions and the basic training. I'm alright with it. At first I was like, this is kind of weird. I felt like it didn't give you a lot of variety in terms of customization, but the more I messed around with it, it's actually a pretty cool system, and I'm alright with it because we've had a creative class in Call of Duty for like 8 or 9 years. So I was totally fine and open to a change, and I think the change is pretty good. It's not that like, this revolutionary idea like creative class was, but it definitely is fun, and it makes the game a little bit different, more unique from previous CODs, which I think is cool. And one of the things I absolutely love about this game is the war game mode. It's kind of like a mix of like the Overwatch game mode, Conquest, and Rush from Battlefield. It almost feels like Battlefield game modes, but like with the smoothness and like arcade style shooter of Call of Duty, and it's like a really actually great combo. I love playing war. It doesn't count towards your KD. You don't get kill streaks in it, so literally there's no excuse not to play the objective unless you're like a wannabe Pamaj trying to get sniper clips for your montage. So it was really fun playing War with the buds and with the friends. I love that game mode. I'm looking forward to playing more maps on that with the full launch, and I think that's just another option in this game to give it a lot of variety, along with the zombies that's going to come out in the full release. So that's my pros for the game. It's a solid game. I had a lot of fun playing it this weekend. I'm happy with it. I'm really excited for the launch, but that doesn't mean that there's not some problems. So let's go through those. Some of these are a little nitpicky, and then some of them are actually like real issues. Starting off with the reflex sight. I don't know about it. Like, it's kind of like a silly thing to complain about, but I thought the reflex sight was kind of meh, and it doesn't seem like it's very realistic. It's like, it actually looks like a red dot sight. I didn't think they had those in World War II. So that's a little weird. I wish they would just go back to like an aperture sight, like World at War had a couple years or 9 years ago. I guess not a couple years ago, but that was definitely a really solid sight. So I would like to see them change that possibly, but it's probably not going to get changed. It doesn't really matter, honestly. Another thing, the mini-map, I kind of got used to it more as I played more, but the circular mini-map is weird. But not only that, is it kind of shows people's outlines from far away, and it looks like there's more people in an area than there actually are. So I don't know if they're going to like tune that or something, but the mini-map felt kind of weird. I got more used to it as I played more, but it was weird at first. There's some useless attachments in the game. The grip, from what I used, I don't think it works at all, so I don't know what they're doing there. I guess they got to like buff that or actually make it work. So there were some attachments that I didn't even see a use to using. So we'll see kind of what happens with the balancing on that. And you can only put 2 attachments on your gun unless you have the infantry division, which I thought was pretty interesting. So we're gonna have to see what happens with that. I don't know if they're gonna change that or not, but you definitely have to choose your attachments carefully. Usually I was running like quick draw and extended mags on most guns, and that was working for me. And then guns with slower fire rates, I was running rapid fire, so instead of extended mags. But overall, yeah, like that whole part of the game was pretty solid, but just a couple little nitpicks. Some of the big things, though, the maps. This game is really good. I really liked playing it, but the one thing I have to say about this game that I think might hold it back potentially is these maps, man. I'm playing here on Gibraltar on this gameplay, which I think was the best map in the beta. I had a lot of fun playing this map. I think it's a good map. This one's good. I will give it credit. It's good. Ardennes Forest is pretty good, too. Not great. But the other 2 maps, Point du Hoc and... what's the other map called? Aachen. Those maps are really bad. So especially Aachen. That map is terrible for domination. It plays okay for TDM, but Aachen, I don't know. I think I read that they're going to be making some adjustments to it for the launch. They better, because that map plays like a Call of Duty Ghost map, and we don't want that. We don't want any remembrance of the Call of Duty Ghost maps. So we'll see how that kind of comes out. I'm hoping for some more open maps with less clutter, longer lanes that favor AR gameplay in the full release, kind of like World at War. I would love to see more maps like World at War, since that game, I think, has the best maps in COD history. And then finally, some of the gun balancing things. Now, this is kind of nitpicks as well, but I feel like the submachine guns kind of dominate this game. The PPSH is the best gun in the game by far. The Thompson is really good, and the STG is pretty much the only AR that's like really good. The M1 Garand actually is pretty decent if you use it right. We'll have some gameplays of that coming up this week, because the M1 Garand is pretty fun to use if you play it the way it's supposed to be played. But the maps were just too close quarters and cluttered to favor any sort of gameplay that wasn't SMG based or shotgun based. And so I feel like the LMGs and the ARs, I don't know if they need to be like buffed or anything. I just think I was looking forward to see more open maps, but I hope that instead of nerfing the good guns, I hope that instead they buff the bad guns, because I think that's just a better way to balance a game. Triple spray, look at that. But anyway, that's about it for my pros and cons for this game. Overall, I had a ton of fun playing it. It took a little bit of time to get used to, but by like the 3rd day, I was actually starting to shred a little bit. So definitely awesome game. I'm really excited for the full launch. A couple of little like hit detection issues and like lag issues, but I'm imagining those things will probably get ironed out for the full release. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I'm going to have more World War II gameplay coming up later this week, so stay tuned for that. And I'm about to get RPG'd.